The pores of my skin opened for the first time in months where the strap of my backpack was sitting. My body cracked and squeaked its way through the physical changes of traveling again. We were heading back into the world, the real one, looking forward to bare feet on raw earth and things that are green and far away. We were looking forward to the silence, the real kind, without all those droning city hums that trick you into believing a facsimile of silence. Finally, we were out of the city.
If you're completely unaware of the virus situation in Taiwan, then you should be able to tell, at least by my haircut alone, that we've been on work from home, whereas we've been on lockdown for the last couple months. And just recently it's been reduced to a level that allows us to travel a little bit. So we came to Hualien. It's one of our favorite places, easy to get to. Also, I haven't adjusted my backpack since the last time we traveled, and I don't even remember when that is. It's a long time ago. I don't remember where we went. And it's a little snug. Well, we're here in the hostel, which actually isn't a hostel anymore. It's a tattoo parlor and Mexican takeout place. So if you come to Hualien, you can find it on Uber Eats, get some Mexican takeout made by Jason. There's his sign. So if you're ever in Hualien and you want some delicious tacos and Mexican food, there you go, Jose Bocado. Check it out. Oli drew this. So yeah, we're here, we have a scooter, we have a place to sleep, but we got no plans. Which, when we're hanging out with Jason, usually means we'll end up drinking a little bit, which is something I haven't done for like 5 or 6 months, realistically. So I'm expecting a bit of a rough morning. And to combat that, I've gotten a hangover cure. This is asparagus juice, see? Okay. So I'll try that later, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight.
No, take your whole finger in your mouth. Yeah. And that. And cut the finger out. What?
Mine doesn't look like that. Flavor is good though.
We sat and ate various things with Jason until the inevitable happened.
I like it.
But it's a basil and soy sauce. That's
Yeah,
it.
but there's some kind of meat.
No meat. So fucking delicious.
No. No. That's no kind of cure. No. Jason just told us that we're having tacos for breakfast, which is great. And while he's making that, we're just getting everything ready to go on the adventure, getting the camera ready. What's that thing? It should be exciting. We're gonna go to a lake. We're gonna try and see a guy that hand forges knives. Like he hand makes knives. He's got a foundry. He's a blacksmith. Might try to check that out because that's something that's right up my alley. And then we might just go sit under a tree somewhere by a lake and read our books, because that's really what we dream to do. So stay with us. You'll see.
Aside from some grunts and the occasional whimper, not much was said during breakfast. I said it before, I've labored the point, but there is no other cure for the weary soul like two wheels with an engine between them. The way you cut through the fresh air, scrolling intimately past the world around you. Your mind narrows its focus on the bike and the road. The way you command only the smallest muscles, yet your whole body moves. You become owned by the present. You belong to it, and for me, I owe it everything. Because of the rain and because of the recent pandemic, there was almost no other people on the lake. The greenery, the birds, the water, the fresh air and the silence were in stark contrast to the synthetic cement-formed city we live in. Sitting in it and relaxing was all there was to do, and it's all we wanted to do. Sometimes there's so much to think about that you end up not thinking at all, like chasing two chickens and catching neither. So doing nothing actually leaves you with more.
I would not be able to tell you how to get here, and I'm not even sure I could get back here myself. But we're at this pretty cool little waterfall river thing here, and there's nobody around, so we can take off our masks and just enjoy the scenery. Check out the mountains all around us, and just swim in this here really cold, really fresh water. Well, we made it to our next destination, which is a hotel. We're not staying with Jason tonight, or the next night. We're gonna stay in this here hotel, just because we want like a Western style bed to sleep on for a while. Because even at home, we sleep on this like weird Asian ceiling floor bed thing. Anyway, we're soaked. Ollie's inside already, getting things started. We're pretty chilly. Ready for a shower and a good meal. I will say, if we're gonna get into video making, it is worth spending the extra money to get a water-sealed camera. Pretty thankful for that that Fujifilm water sealing right about now. So what's going on?
It's like super. The owner's never gonna come. It's because of COVID. So like this is the way they do it.
Okay.
So they just gave me all the information and then the card and then.
So we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're warm, we're clean, we're showered, and here are a couple things that I immediately like about this hotel room. First of all, I like the clever use of these single pull, single throw toggle switches for lights. They're just cool, they're tactile. I also like how when you open this thing, a light turns on. It's like a magic box. It's like that movie, The Indian in the Cupboard, but without any indigenous people. And again, clever use of a rolling limit switch, which I think is cool. Here's something I don't like about this hotel, and this here is actually a closet. The closet's locked, and I don't have anything against closets, but I don't like it when they're behind the bathroom. Because if you're a traveler and you're the type of person that cares about your privacy, then you should know that it's kind of sketchy to have a room behind your bathroom. So in that case, all you gotta do is check the mirror, make sure it's not a two-way mirror, and to do that, you just touch the mirror and you look at the tip of your finger, and if the tips of your fingers touch exactly like this, then it's a two-way mirror. But if there's a little distance in between your fingers, then it's just a normal mirror. This one is actually like floating, see? I can move it, so it's not a sketchy mirror. And also, there's no ledge to put your soap on in the bathroom, but see, now we're just being pedantic. But I don't like having to put my soap and shampoo on the floor, where no doubt there has been blood, urine, and semen once before. But, you know, that's small gripes. I've only ever been in one hotel room where the mirror, I think, was a two-way mirror. And in that case, you just run yourself down to the dollar store and get a permanent marker, and then you write on the wall, this is a two-way mirror with an arrow pointing at the mirror for the next traveler. Yeah, it's a great little room. It's cozy, it's warm, it's got wicked lighting. We have our own little balcony with a questionable view, but you know, they can't choose the view. And it's cool. I like everything about it. They even have Netflix.
The following morning, we jumped onto the scooter and went headfirst into another rainy day in search for solace and adventure.
Good morning. Does it look familiar? Yeah, it's raining again. And we've come back to this lake here that you can see. Just because it's so cool, and it's pretty close to this knife place that we want to check out.
Yeah.
And there's nobody around, aside from some fishermen and a few adventurous folks who are kayaking.
I often fantasize about finding a little hideaway to settle down in for a while, a place to just float and observe and dream, about making a simple life on an island in the Philippines, or a city in Japan, or a small wooded lake in northern Canada. But my quest to find the perfect nesting place that isn't just the backdrop of my own upbringing, as so many others have defaulted to, has yet come into reality. I'm afraid that the closest I'll ever come to it is Hualien.
The place behind me is the knife place that we want to show you. It's like the blacksmith or whatever, the foundry. And they're closed. I think they're taking a little siesta because it is lunchtime after all. So, better keep that on. I figured while we waited, I would give you a little bit of unsolicited scooter rental advice. The first thing is, when you rent a scooter, check the brakes, check the tires, check the gauges, and check the lights. If any of those things are worn out or broken, then obviously ask for a different one. It sounds kind of obvious, but when you're all pumped and ready to get a scooter, you'll probably forget that stuff. And it might seem a little embarrassing, it might seem a little bit privileged or something to go and ask for those things, but it's your neck on the line and not theirs. They can just sit in the office and you'll be out here in the rain like me. So just make sure all those things work. I'd say like 5 out of 10 times that I rent a scooter, the first one I look at is complete trash. So make sure you're aware of that. And if you're like me at all, it's definitely gonna rain as soon as you rent a scooter. So get yourself one of these little poncho things and definitely invest in one of these to put your phone in. That way you can have the maps open and you can look at it. And you don't have to stop with your wet, clammy hands and touch your phone. And your phone usually stays dry inside stuff like this. And then make sure you get a helmet with one of these masks on. It makes a huge difference. So this is the 4th generation, like 4 generations ago, her family would have made these knives. And that hair at the end, let me zoom in a little bit, that hair at the end right there, it's actually human hair. It has something to do with the way they used to battle. Anyway, the family's carried on the tradition, and that's how you can see like there's the next generation and so on and so forth. So now you can see they make like modern day chef's knives. These are only 500 NT, and it's hard to find a really good, especially handmade chef knife. So we're gonna buy one of these because they look good. They're nice and wide. It's good for me to get my fingers in there. A lot of times the knives that you find in like Walmart or wherever will be really short, and there's just not enough room. So I risk getting pinched by the heel of a knife. And these ones look like they're nice and wide. Plus, if you're scooping up vegetables and stuff like that, this is what it's really for. It's for cutting vegetables. We'll use it for everything because we're not professionals, but it's a really cool knife. What a cool spot. That is super worth visiting if you're in the area. I'll put a Google link in the description. This lady was super nice. She told us all about the history and how she makes the knives. They make them out of, they look like they're a part of the train's brake drum, maybe. It's a really high carbon steel that they then treat and do stuff to. And high carbon steels, they rust unlike stainless steels. You have to keep them oiled, but ours is for cutting food, so it'll be kept in like vegetable oils. And she gave us a free little gift. And she opened for us. I mean, she was supposed to be taking a break, but she noticed us and opened. Really sweet place to check out. Very cool, very interesting. Highly recommend it.
Back at Jason's place, we walked down to the locals' farmer's market for some fresh groceries. Jason was going to make one of his famous hot pots, and only locally grown veggies were to be used. Jason cooked and prepared the broth and vegetables while we talked as usual, mostly about foods that we love and sharing cooking techniques and recipes. Oli and I pitched in where we could, but Jason has a rhythm in his kitchen and we respect it. His mother joined us, making jokes and enjoying the food the way her son was raised to do himself. We watched the Olympics until dark and eventually headed back to the hotel for a final sleep in Hualien before heading to Taipei the next morning. Heading back into the city, feeling no better about it than when I left, I could feel my mind scrambling to figure out the next escape. Where would I go? When? With who? And just how would I pull it off? Maybe that's what I truly love about cities, is how they force me to figure out how to escape them. Like loving salt because of how it makes you see water. Or is it simpler in that travel begets travel? And since I just had a sip, I'm now thirsty for a gulp. Whatever the case, the road is calling, and so is my job, that nagging, gleaming edifice of fictitious freedom at work. See you in the next one, folks.